Kid Cudi. Hey, yo, you telling me you cheating on me with a fake skater?
Puff, listen, I can explain. Don't flip out.
I'ma go have to teach your little boyfriend a lesson.
Oh, hell no. We gotta break up.
What you mean my car on fire?
Don't worry. I'ma go talk to him. Day and night. Hey, yo, Puff, what is wrong with you?
Hey, yo, you think I wasn't gonna find out, Playboy?
What?
That you was banging my girl without letting me see.
Gross.
This is Capricorn Clark, and now she's discussing that car ride to Kid Cudi's house. Prosecution, and where was Miss Ventura? Clark said in New York on the West End. She would come to LA to stay with him, or with me, or in a hotel. Prosecution, and who else was Miss Ventura seeing? Clark said Kid Cudi. Prosecution, and how did you learn of that? She said that she brought him to my apartment. Prosecution, and what did you say? Clark said she texted me that they were going to this public place in LA, and I told her that it was a bad idea and to delete the text.
So this literally says that Cassie Ventura, not to make her into a bad person, and I do think Diddy is a terrible person and he needs to go under the jail. I'm just pointing out one thing. Cassie was dating Kid Cudi and Diddy at the same time. Just wanted to point that out.
Why? Clark said if Mr. Combs learned about Kid Cudi, so essentially he was reading them text messages. Capricorn goes on to say that she took Cassie to Best Buy to get her a burner phone. The prosecution then says, when did Mr. Combs return to town? Clark said not long after. He took Cassie to a hotel. Prosecution, and then what? Clark said December 22nd, 2011, between 5:30 and 6 a.m., there was banging at my door. Prosecution, and what did you see through the peephole? Clark said a furious Puff. Objection!
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun. Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much-needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
Judge says, ask another question to the prosecutor. Prosecutor says, what was his movement? Clark says, pacing with something in his hand. Prosecution, did you open the door? Clark said, I did. Prosecution, and what was he wearing? Clark said, a button-down sweater, torn pants. Crazy, how did his pants get torn? And he was holding a pew-pew. He came into my apartment and said, why didn't you tell me? Who is Scott? I said, I don't know any Scott.
Scott is allegedly in this story Kid Cudi. I don't know where he got Scott from, but she's talking about Kid Cudi.
Prosecution, and what did he say? Clark said that he was going to kill this N-word. Prosecution, and where was the pew-pew? Clark said in his hand. I said, I didn't want to go. He said, I don't give what you want. Get dressed. Prosecution, and what concerns did you have? Clark said he had never been in my house. Prosecution, and did you try to escape? Clark said, no, I got dressed. Prosecution, who joined in? Referring to who joined in on the car ride that Puff was taking them on. Clark said Ruben in a black Escalade, executive class. Prosecution, and where was Ruben? Clark said the driver's seat. I got in the back seat. Right hand to Mr. Combs was on the left, and next to me, usually he would sit in the front, but the pew-pew was in his lap. Prosecution, and how long did it take you to drive from your house to Cudi's house in the Hollywood Hills? Clark said, if you push it, 15 to 20 minutes. Prosecution, and what did Mr. Combs and Ruben do at Cudi's house? She said they went in. Prosecution, could you see? She said, yeah. Prosecution.
My question is, how did she get into Kid Cudi's house? Did Cassie give him a key? Did Capricorn Clark give him a key? Did he break in? Because according to the testimony from Kid Cudi, there was no forced entry into his house. So maybe it'll come out in this, but that's my first question. How did he just easily get into this man's house?
And what did you do? She said, I called Cassie on her burner phone. I said, Cassie, where the fuck? But I think she meant, what the fuck? I told her that Puff was at Cudi's house, and then I changed her number in my phone to my best friend Stormy. And when Mr. Combs came back, question mark, Clark said he took my phone and called the last number. Oh my God. Then I saw Cudi
Uh-oh.
driving up.
What's she
Mr. Combs
chasing
saw
on?
my face, and then he said, "There's that nigga right there." Now we last left off where Puff had saw Kid Cudi arrive.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. This is getting good. So he actually sees Kid Cudi pull up. See, we didn't hear about all this stuff. Capricorn Clark's testimony was absolutely crazy. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and let's go.
Driving back to his home. Now Clark continues and says, "We drove off and we saw police driving the other way toward Cudi's. Puff was pulling himself together and we stopped at the Key Club and he told me to call Cassie." Prosecution. "And what did he tell you to tell Cassie?" Clark said, that he had me and wouldn't let me go." Prosecution. "And how did Miss Ventura respond?" Clark said, "She said, okay, come get me." She was calm." Prosecution. "Who drove you home?" Clark said, "Reuben," referring to the security detail. Prosecution. "And what did Miss tell you?" Clark said, "To convince Cudi to not say that he had seen him at his home, and I picked Cassie up." Prosecution. "And where did you go?" Clark said, "We went to Cudi's and tried to convince him not to file a police report." Prosecution. "And what did he tell you?" Clark said, "That Puff came to my house with a pew-pew." Prosecution. "And what did you tell him he said?" Clark said, "If you tell on him, he'll hurt us all." Prosecution. "And what was Kid Cudi's reaction?" Clark said he was mind blown. Objection. Judge. Sustained. The jury will disregard. Prosecution. "And what happened at the house?" Clark said he was kicking Cassie again and again. Prosecution. "And how was Cassie?" Clark said, "In the fetal position. Mr. Combs kicked her all the way to the street." That is, man. Clark goes on to say that she was crying silently. Prosecution. "And where was he kicking her?" Clark said her backside, and then her voice begins to crack as she's telling this testimony. Prosecution. "And where were you?" Clark said, "About 5 feet away, and so was Reuben." Prosecution.
And this is why I'm saying I want Diddy to go under the prison. I don't care about what Cassie said or Cassie did, whether Cassie was right or wrong. Nobody deserves to get this type of treatment. Sometimes a man to cheat on a woman, sometimes a woman to cheat on a man. That's literally their prerogative because they can do whatever they want to do with their body. Like, it's wrong, but they can do that. But what another person can't do is start beating the person up for cheating on them. If a person cheats on you, whether you're a man or a woman, just leave them alone. Like, all this violence, like, they can do whatever they want to do with their body or their life. Cheating is wrong, but they can do it. They can do it. They can do it. You can't make somebody you can't make somebody be with you. You can't make somebody love you. Like, I'm just getting mad just listening to this part right here because he's doing all this because she cheated. Just leave her alone. I got daughters. I can't imagine.
"And what did Mr. Combs say to you?" Clark said, he said, "If you jump in, I'm gonna fuck you up." Prosecution. "And what did Reuben do?" She said, "Nothing." Prosecution. "And who did you call?" Clark said, "I called D-Rock, the other member of security detail, and I told him, tell your brother to stop Puff. He's kicking the shit out of her." Clark goes on to say, "I called Paulie too, and I said he'd take care of it, but Reuben did nothing." Prosecution. "Well, what next?" Clark said, "Mr. Combs told me to get the F out too, and I left on foot." Prosecution. Could you see her getting kicked?" Clark said, "Until I went around the bend, or until she hit the corner." Prosecution. "Then who did you call?" Clark said, "Regina Ventura. I told her he's kicking the shit out of your daughter, and I can't call the police, but you can." Prosecution. "And why didn't you call the police?" Clark said, "The mission of the day was to get Cudi, so no calling police." Prosecution. "This email."
Wait, what? The mission of the day was to get Kid Cudi, so no calling the police? I'm not blaming Capricorn Clark, but she can easily put an end to this by calling the police. But because this whole ordeal was about Kid Cudi, she ignored what was happening to Cassie because the goal was to get Kid Cudi. They turned around and told Kid Cudi not to call the police or not to file a police report. This is crazy.
And proceeds to show Capricorn Clark a printout of an email. Who is this from? Clark said it's Cassie. She wrote that she was releasing sex tapes about me and that he had someone to hurt me and Kid Cudi. Prosecution. Do you recall if you responded to this? Clark said, I don't. Prosecution. Did law enforcement call you? Clark says, yes, the arson investigators. Cudi had given them my name. I hung up on them. I just wanted this over. Prosecution. And what did Mr. Combs say to you?
So now the arson investigators are here due to the fact that allegedly Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car.
Clark said, he said, I should kill you bitches and I should cut her face. Prosecution. And how many times did Mr. Combs threaten you? Clark said, I'd say 50 times. D-Rock was there, just doubling down on whatever Puff.
50 times? And in the full testimony, Capricorn Clark literally gets fired from Diddy, and then she actually comes back as the executive something. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm not saying Cassie's wrong, but Capricorn Clark is yet another person that actually is dealing with all of this, getting threatened over and over again, getting, whatever. I don't want to say the word all over again, over and over again, but they'll come right back and work with Diddy, work for Diddy, or be with Diddy. Not saying that they're wrong, but the red flags are always there, but nobody cares to see them. Not blaming anybody. This isn't victim blaming, but you can't go back to a person that's doing all these different things.
Was saying at the moment. Prosecution. Who is Harv Pierre or Harv Pierre? I think that's how you say his name. Clark said, he's the president of Bad Boy Records. I told him Puff had kidnapped me. Prosecution. And what did Harv Pierre tell you? Clark said, he said, well, that's crazy, but it's going to be okay. I got a termination notice and I was accused of not properly putting in on vacation time.
See, they'll get fired. It's not like they're running away from Diddy, or Diddy is like, you can't go nowhere through the whole time. It might be a certain part of the situation where Diddy might say, no, you're going to come with me. But they have opportunities to leave, whether it's Cassie, Capricorn Clark, or whether it's this guy. Diddy fires people and then they come back. He fired them and then they come back.
That I was on. Prosecution. Had he put it in? Clark says yes to Harv Pierre. Prosecution. Did you lose your benefits? Clark said all of them. Health, 401k, my house, and my car. Prosecution. And what did Mr. Combs say? Clark said that I would never work again, that he would make me kill myself. Prosecution. Did you get a job offer? Clark says I did, but it fell through, and I couldn't get a job. Prosecution. Did you settle with Mr. Combs? Clark says in October of 2012, and then this is when the defense yells objection. Can they approach the bench?
Hello?
Cudi, you have to get up right now. Diddy's in your house.
What do you mean Diddy is in my house?
Cudi, get up. Diddy is in your house right now. He found out about us.
Wait, he found out about us. I thought you wasn't.
Get up right now.
I thought you wasn't with him no more. What?
Listen, I was messing with both of you guys at the same time. Just get up. He's in your house. He's crazy.
Why is he in my house? What the? How do you?
Cudi, get up right now. Get up.
Oh my God. Now, Kid Cudi is not at home. He's looking around like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, his dog sitter calls him. So he gets on the phone like, hey, somebody said that Diddy is in my house. She says, yes, he's in here and I'm in the closet. What? So he's in my house right now. Yes. What is he doing? I looked around the corner and he's sitting Indian style in front of your Christmas tree, opening Christmas presents. What? You're trying to tell me Diddy is sitting on the floor opening Christmas presents? Yes. Why? I don't know. All I know is I'm in a closet and I'm waiting for him to leave. So he hangs up with her and calls Diddy. He had Diddy's phone number because they were working together with music. So he's calling Diddy's phone and he answers the phone while he's in his house. Kid Cudi says, hey, are you in my house? Diddy says, what's up, Playboy? Yeah, I'm in your house. Where you at? He said, I'm on the way. Oh, okay. I'll wait for you. Why are you in my house? I'll just wait for you. Kid Cudi gets there. Nobody's there. The dog sitter is gone. The dog actually is injured. Apparently, Diddy injured his dog. The dog is locked in a bathroom, and he's walking around his house to see what has been damaged or what's going on. Nothing is wrong with anything in his house except for unwrapped Christmas presents. So he's looking around like, what the fuck is happening? So he calls Diddy again. He's not answering. So after all this happens, he calls Diddy wanting to fight him. Diddy stops answering the phone. So he just said, forget it. Next thing you know, Diddy started calling him, trying to work things out. And he said, I don't want to talk to Diddy. I'm done with this mess. And he thinks everything is good until a month later where he's back on tour. And guess what? His dog sitter again calls him and says, I know what happened last time, but I got to tell you what's happening now. He's like, what's happening now? Your car is on fire. What? Somebody blew up your car. It doesn't look like this Diddy stuff is over with. He blew up my Porsche? What the fuck? So since a month went by and all of this stuff died down and now his car just blew up, he made a decision to say, I'm gonna call Diddy and just figure all this out. I don't care about what happens. I'm not gonna keep going through this mess. So he calls up Diddy and said, hey, we need to meet. Diddy says, what's up, Playboy? All right, cool, we can meet. Meet me at Soho. So he goes to Soho and meets Diddy. As Kid Cudi walked in, he seen Diddy, and Diddy was standing there looking out the window with his arms behind his back like he's some Marvel supervillain. And Diddy calmly walks over to him, asks him to sit down, offers him some water, and we all know if Diddy offers you anything, do not drink it. So he doesn't drink the water, and Diddy just looks at him and says, yo, I thought we was homies. And Kid Cudi says, I thought y'all were broken up. Nah, bro, we were still together. We were literally doing freak-offs at the time that you were dating her. Cassie was actually playing both of us. Then Cassie walks in the room, sits next to Diddy, and he's looking at Cassie like, and Cassie just looked at him and said, we fell in love and things happened. So he just looked at Diddy, they dapped each other up, and then he said, by the way, what are we gonna do about my car? You just blew my car up, bro. And Diddy just looked at him and said, I don't know what you're talking about. So he just leaves, and like 2 years later, he runs into Diddy at the same Soho house in LA again, and Diddy walks up to him and apologizes and said, hey, sorry for everything that happened, but you know, we cool? And he said, yeah, we cool. This has to be one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in my life. And I just want to reiterate, Kid Cudi, said on the stand that he felt like Cassie played him and Diddy. She was messing with both of them at the same time, but she told Kid Cudi that it was only him, and she told Diddy that she wasn't messing with nobody. So when they actually started going back and forth, both Diddy and Kid Cudi was confused because they didn't know that the other person was messing with Cassie. Let me know what y'all think about Cassie. I know some of y'all are gonna say Cassie was a victim, she was this, she was that. But everything that I've heard about Cassie thus far shows me that she is not as bad as Diddy, but damn, she seems like a conniving baby Diddy. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. How about 2 or 3 card games? The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun. Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.